What's up, Turtle fans? I am the White Foot Soldier, and this is a review of the TMNT Musical Mutagen Tour action figures, convention exclusive action figures, I may add, by NECA. So of course this is based on the Coming Out of Their Shells tour from 1990, which was actually sponsored by Pizza Hut back then, which would have been cool if Pizza Hut would have been involved in this set. But regardless, we got it. It's awesome. I've seen pictures and things online, so I'm super excited to have it in hand to actually check out the details. We get some really cool artwork, obviously, on the front of the turtles with their instruments, their different look. We got the stars in the eyes and the different attire for their musical tour. On the side, we get musical Mutagen tour there. Back's really cool. If that doesn't scream 90s, I don't know what does. That's so awesome to see the cutout mask there. Obviously, I'm not cutting it out. I want to keep this box in good shape. We get the track listing. Some of these are pretty funny too. We built this Technodrome, Sayonara, Sax in the Sewer, Achy Breaky Shell. So some good ones there. We got 14 tracks listed. Down here we got some of the NECA crew, director Randy Falk, of course, and then we got producer Trevor there. It actually tells us too what comes in here. So I've looked online, as I said, and they look awesome, so I'm excited to review them myself. But what we get in here are 4 turtles, extra pairs of hands, microphone, saxophone, guitar, bass, drum machine, guitar, pizza frisbee, and more radical rocking gear. So super excited to check that out. Something I did want to show too, you see that it's upside down on the side there. It's kind of neat, like where the containers that you put the instruments and stuff in on the tour. So that's kind of a cool little piece of artwork there. Same thing on this side. You see the TMNT 90, obviously indicating this was in 1990. I think it was actually channel 6 sticker on that side. So really cool box art. I don't think I'm missing anything. Get like a NECA Toys logo, of course. As I mentioned, this is a convention exclusive. Unfortunately, we had to get these a different way. But it's so cool that they are showing up in stores because, for those of us who missed out on them online, you are able to still get them in store. I just want to tell you a quick story of mine. I went this morning. I found the Musical Mutagen Tour merch pack, and I will review that next, actually, in a separate review. But I found those on the shelves, and there were 3 of them. And I got one of those, and then I went over to the entertainment section and I asked the guy that was working there, I said, did the NECA vendor come? And he saw me holding that and he said, well, I didn't realize that she came, but she must have, because those weren't there. And I said, does she come once a week? Like, how does that work? Had a conversation. He said, actually, that she keeps a box in the back and brings stuff out. And I said, well, can you check the box to see if there are any NECA Ninja Turtles in there, because I'm looking, for certain sets. And he's like, yeah, sure. So he goes back, and I'm standing there waiting patiently, and all of a sudden I see him walking, and he has this in his hand. He said, this and one other merch pack were the only 2 that were in the box in the back. So if you go to Target, don't just look at the shelf and walk away angrily, is that a word? Like I did for the past week and a half. Ask them, because they do have stuff in the back, and sometimes they don't bring it out. And had I not asked, I would have walked away with a merch pack and no set. So I'm super excited to add this set. Enough wasting your time. Let's open this up and get a closer look. All right, so if we actually just slide the box out here, we can see it's almost like the carrying case, as I mentioned, for the instruments. We get some cool designs like the stickers of a turtle shell there, party dudes inside. We get some neat stickers on the top there, and we already saw the sides, of course. So I already kind of popped this tape off earlier just to make it easier, but I'll show you what it's like whenever we open it up then. So if we pop the tape off, then we're actually seeing, just kind of straighten that up. we're actually seeing like a stage. So this is super cool how they did this, how NECA did this. You can see the neat logo on the top, and then in the background you can kind of see like the lights, like that this would be the stage itself. So this will really make for some really cool pictures. Once I get these guys out and everything, I can set that up and use that as a great backdrop. So that's just something neat. I know that they've done with the classic collection too, like with it's almost like the lair in the background. So again, did it with this, and I know they did it with the other figure packs too from previous Comic-Cons, but just a really nice touch. So let's open these guys up now. And actually, before we check out the figures, I wanted to show this because you couldn't really see it with the plastic and the figures, you know, blocking it. So you can kind of see the stage setup now. So that's, like I said, that's really cool. You see the speakers in the background, the amps, there's even guitars set up there. So that's just, like I said, that's a really neat backdrop that I'm definitely going to be using. All right, let's finally check out the contents now. So we'll start off with the accessories. We have a saxophone. So nice detail on that. We got a little bit of brass on there. So good accessory there. We have a drum machine, so they could wear that around their neck there. And this is kind of like a almost like the rubbery, like how their belts are, like that kind of material. And we got a keytar. So this would this group obviously would not be complete without a keytar, so that's sweet. And then we get 2 guitars, so we get a bass and we get a regular guitar. So really sweet looking accessories there. I love the cutouts of the heads on the guitar, or not the heads, the bodies of the guitar. Those are really sweet looking. Again, we get the straps on there, and we get a pizza frisbee. I thought it would be solid, kind of like the real pizzas. Not real pizzas, but you know what I mean, the pizzas that are intended to be real for these figures, not the actual frisbee. So that is kind of like I said, more flexible than what I thought. I mean, it's not a big deal, but just pointing that out. And then we also got some eyewear here. So we'll try these on the figures. I believe this one, the star, is Michelangelo's, and this other design is Leonardo's. So now all these figures feature the same articulation. So pretty much what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick one up, show you the articulation, and then when we run down through the other figures, I'm just gonna show you the different designs on them, because as I said, they have the same bodies. Everything is pretty much, from what I can tell, the same exact molds and everything. So they'll have the same articulation, just different designs on the coats and, you know, the figures overall. So we'll just start with Mikey here. I noticed right away when I pulled him out of the packaging, the wire for the headpiece. Now my buddies and brother and I joke around and say that these are like the Garth Brooks headpieces, or like the Britney Spears microphones, you know, over the heads there. But this wire does actually move back, so like you can kind of tuck it back so it looks like that it's, you know, plugged into something, or you can kind of lift it up, you know, if you want it to be more of like an antenna look. And then this wireless or this microphone itself actually kind of moves too. It doesn't really stay necessarily as much as like the wire, because the wire is just that, it's a wire. Over the top there, this headpiece, it kind of moves as well. It's not, since it's in the side of the head there, it's not really, like you can't mold it to the head that well, like it just kind of lays up there. I mean, I suppose you could try to like bend it a little bit and try to get it to stick up there, but that's how that works. So let's run down through the articulation, and we'll check out the designs. So these will have the same articulation as the movie figures. In the shoulders, we get in the elbows, in the wrists, in the neck and head area. Now what's neat is these mouths open up, so that looks really, really funny, opening the mouths like they're singing. You can kind of see down in the mouth there. So there's a side shot of that. So move around a little bit. So that's pretty much the upper body. Moving on down, we get some articulation in the hip, in the knee, and then the ankles roll around as well, and then actually below the ankles too. I don't want to bend it too much, but I could try to be careful with these just because they are adult collecting, so I don't you know, bend them too much and things like that, because I don't want any of the materials to snap. But right there in the
ankles that will kind of make the stances a little bit easier. You can kind of flip the legs different ways and feet different ways. A lot of articulation, obviously. So like I said, I'm just trying to be careful because with the accessories too, popping them out of the packaging and things like that, just be really careful because these things can break easily if you don't take care of them. So make sure that you're doing a nice job there. So looking at the jackets, these denim jackets are so cool. We get the stars on the shoulders, star like on the belt there, wraps up around. Obviously, we're not used to Mikey having something wrap up like that. Usually, you know, he just has the belt down on his waist. But coming on down, we get the stars on the knee pads, almost like these socks. Now, this is cloth. That's not molded on there or sculpted on there. That is cloth. And we also get a little bit of like some leather hanging down there off the, it's a little flare action off the knees. And same with the elbow pads, pretty much same as the knee pads with the stars there. Turn it over, and that jacket is sick. I would wear that denim jacket if you could buy that. It's the, you know, the same design as the box art, the musical Mutagen tour, and then of course it has name Michelangelo there. Get a little studdedness going on around the bottom of the jacket, and some stars again there. So yeah, these things are awesome. They're just so cool. It's crazy that we got these. Actually, I did not see this coming. So this is for any of the old school fans. They have to be thrilled with these. So so there's the basic articulation. Like I said, we'll just run down through now with the different designs that are on them. So we get kind of like the yin yang on Donatello there. And same, you know, the socks, we get the purple laces. Actually, I don't think I pointed out the shoes in Michelangelo, but just the solid white shoes, and then whatever color their bandana is, that's the color it laces. So the shoes look comical, I think. I mean, not in a bad way, just like they crack me up that the turtles are wearing shoes. So that's pretty cool. And I think, again, with, you know, the wire, you can move the wire around however you want. Get the yin yangs on the shoulders, denim jacket, flip them over. Same basic design. We get the you know, that awesome logo that's on the box art and everything, and then of course Donatello, his name at the top of his jacket. So actually, just lifting it up, I noticed that's kind of a harder plastic. That's not like a almost like a rubber, like that's almost more solid than I anticipated there. If you did just lift these up, I didn't do that on the other one, but see how shiny the shell is there. I mean, you probably take these jackets off. I'm not going to do that, but you could probably take them off if you wanted to for whatever reason. You can see the belt does run the whole way around the body. So, so there's Donnie. And then moving down to Leonardo, kind of has the moons, I guess, and then some different designs on the knee pads there, big X's. Assume that's the same on the elbow pads. Yep, and then we got the moons there, half moons. And then Leonardo, of course, on the top of his jacket, same design. So it's cool that, you know, enough things have changed on each figure. And now we're gonna check out Raphael. So Raphael's got a little smiley face there, kind of like the Walmart sticker, right there up on his jacket. Red X's, some kind of funky X's on his knee pads. Same with the elbow pads, and Raphael at the top. Musical Mutagen tour. Yeah, so pretty much everything's the same there. So just, you know, of course, the different designs on some of the pieces of the figure. Something I did want to point out, actually, these figures did come with hand swaps. So you can see the open palms, thumbs up again, open palms. And if you actually look at the figures then, you can see that they have different hands on there. So there are hand swaps. I wasn't going to pop them out because you guys have seen enough reviews to know that they simply just you know, pop off the wrist. So I'll just do that quick. I won't put the new one on, but just show you. So those just, you know, simply pop off if you're not new, or if you are new to NECA figures, and then you can just shove that back up in there, and it's back on. So the hand swaps obviously are really cool because you're going to want to change things up, you know, for the accessories. So for example, if, you know, if Raph's holding a guitar, he's going to want to have a different hand that's kind of gripping the guitar. So it's neat that NECA has done that, obviously, throughout the series, or throughout their figures, I guess I should say, not just this series. So So again, these are the musical Mutagen Tour TMNT NECA figures. Of course, these are based on the Coming Out of Their Shells tour from 1990. So the last thing that we're going to do is we are going to get some instruments on these guys, and then we'll wrap things up. All right, so here are the musical Mutagen Tour figures. Now, of course, they have their instruments, but they would not be complete with a couple last accessories here. So we have Michelangelo's star, and now this just has a back piece to it that just kind of slides in his eye, and you do have to get it on the right side. As you saw there, I had it on the wrong side to begin with. So you just kind of set that in, and it sits right in there. And then we got Leonardo's. So we'll pop that in place. Whoop. Pop that in place. Slides right on. And there they are. So these figures are a must-have for any 90s TMNT fan, because if you know anything about the Turtles, immediately when you see this, it just takes you back. Whether you've watched the tour or not, you've seen the VHS tapes, you've seen the YouTube videos. These are super cool. Kudos to NECA for hammering it out of the ballpark once again. I am the White Foot Soldier. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe for more TMNT news and reviews.